All right, folks. Chris here, back again from the Big Toy Auction, coming at you with some fun new comics that we're going to be selling at our next comic auction. We're bringing these right to you right here. I'm going to show you in the screen what we've got for you. We got a lot of good goodies coming at you, so I'm going to get started here. We've got over here, we're going to have each of the comic books. We're going to run through them. I'll show you the front, show you the back, show you any nicks, imperfections, scrapes, gouges, whatever in them. You can bid on those, of course, at our next upcoming event that is at TheBigToyAuction.com. Right as you see it down here. Head on over there. You can leave a pre-bid right up until the day of the auction, or you can come on over to the auction with us on the day of. We'll run through it real quick. We've got about 400 comics or so, right in about there, 350, 400, somewhere in there, coming at you, so it's going to go quick. We're going to show you everything you need to know right here in these video cataloging session, so you have it, and then you can refer to this later. We'll try and snip it up, cut it, and paste it into the actual catalog itself. You'll see the high definition photos. I think we get about a 13 megapixel camera or something like that, so you can see anything on the side, and then I'll show you right here any kind of issues that we have. There aren't many with any of the items, but we'll show them to you. So without any further ado, we're going to get started here with Dark Victory number 6 from Batman Comics. I'll show you how the light shines off it a little bit right there, just so you get an idea. And you can see any kind of spine issues. We'll show you the back as well as we take some photos of it here. So a little bit of spine wear there as we move on. And the next one is number 7. So we're going to go along with some of these. Let's remove that. And you can see same idea right here. We'll try to brighten it up for you a little bit so you can see. There we go. And I'll show you. So it seems to be a little bit of a smudge here on the cover. A couple of creases there on the spine. A little bit of wear on the corner. But that's why we do this, so that we can show you everything that's going on with that. So that'll take care of that one. We'll move on here to the next is Dark Victory number 8. Comes as you see it right there. With, of course, the Joker laughing away. Show you these as we do it, as I do my best Vanna White. Looking pretty good. It's tough on these black covers like this. You get a little bit of smudging on it. That's why we wear the gloves, just so that we don't add to that at all from what our consigners may have already brought us. And of course, Mr. Freeze, much maligned character. This is Dark Victory, Batman Dark Victory number 10 from the limited series. So you can see a little bit of a creasing on that corner up there. A little bit of a ding right there. We like to do these live videos because it shows you the full condition, stuff that you're not going to be able to see in the video. I'm sorry, in the catalog photo. We can show you right here. So some of the way the light hits it, the way the light will shine off it, especially on these darker covers like this. You got some poison ivy there. And when you do it like this, the light will shine off real nice. It points out any kind of flaws. Well, I don't even see any spine roll on this one. And that way you can make a better and more informed decision during the live auction. As always, the live auction will be at TheBigToyAuction.com. You can see all that information right here in your description. Check out that corner. I'll show you the corners down here. Same on the back. as we move on to some Avengers. Invaders, number 1 of 12. Let's brighten that just a little bit for you. All of this will be available. You can go to TheBigToyAuction.com and either check it out, ask any questions that you might have. If you have any questions on any of the items, you can leave a pre-bid, or you can come and join us at the live event. Always a fun one. We try to make it as quick for you as possible. If you've ever been to a live auction, you know how it works. We go through, we sell you as many items as we can in the time allotted. Try to get you in and out. And that's why we take the time to show you everything right here. You can explore this and look at this. You can look at it with us here in the live video, or you can explore it at your leisure. This is Avengers Invaders, number 3 of 12. You know what's going on with the Invaders series, so this should pick up. Move on to the next one. For the same Avengers Invaders, I don't know why that's so hard to say. Number 5 of 12. I'll show you that for just 1 minute while we get it ready here. Some Alex Ross on that one. Always a big fan of Alex Ross whenever we got a chance to work with him. We do the Mego Meet benefit auction out in Chicago the past few years. They've moved it since, but it had been out there. Sorry, we lost the camera for quite a while, working with the fine people at Aw Yeah Comics. And through that, we got a chance to meet Mr. Alex Ross. Always a fan back since the Kingdom Come days, so that was a real treat. And we move on here to Avengers Invaders Sketchbook. Dynamite, which may now be kind of defunct, but that doesn't matter because you get a chance to look at this. All right, check that out. I always love these sketchbooks. Show you the back as well. We're here already, so I'll show you the light, and then I'll go back to the front. So you can see a little waviness in that cover, but nothing to write home about. There you go. And of course, I always love these. Just little kind of art book presentations. I'm not going to, the gloves make it hard to do anything, but I'm not going to go through all of it. But you get a chance to see some different sketches, artists, interpretations, and some notes. I always like that kind of thing. Hope you do too. You're going to get a chance to bid on it at our next auction. We'll throw out the next one right here. Avengers number 0. Let's brighten it for you. There you go. You got some Carol Danvers, obviously taking a big new, and here's a different Miss Marvel. It is Ms. Marvel time here in the, there you go, the Marvel Universe. Lots of goodies coming out. Looking forward to the movies. See what's next in store in the cinematic universe. All right, here you have another Avengers, the Monsters Unleashed. This is MU-A, number 1. So I'll show you the spine real quick. Corners, run the light over it so you can see if there's any smudges, gouges, dings, tears, rips, anything like that. Looks pretty good. I love these M&M covers. We had more artistic palettes. I would love to do some of those. Talk type of items for us. But sadly, we do not. All right, so next up we have Avengers number 7, volume 7 rather, number 2. Some more Alex Ross. Get that? There we go. Now we brighten it up. Yeah, it looks like the traveling company of Jesus Christ Superstar. Your mileage may vary. Because what I'm assuming is Magneto there. Is that Magneto? No, I think these are more bigger baddies because you got some of the bigger baddies on there. Looks a little bit like Caiaphas. All right, so M&Ms, more of these fun advertisements or M&Ms. As we move on, going in a different speed right here now to some Power Man and Iron Fist. Obviously, the Nick Cage show seems to have taken off a little bit. I was really looking forward to a Terry Crews Nick Cage myself, but I won't complain. Show you the spine. A little bit of issues up here. Show you the other corners. As we run through this, you get used to it. That we're just going to go corners, spine, and cover. And that's going to do it for that one. We move on here to Power Man and Iron Fist number 94 from the original incarnation. Always a great comic book in that it showed more of the human side, I think. Of the two characters. Look at that. Who remembers playing this game? Leave a message in the comments if you remember Tutankhamun or if you actually ever beat it. That was a fun game for the Atari. I never had it, but I had a cousin that did, and we loved heading on over there and playing it. That and Pitfall, which amazingly I also never had. But we had some Yar's Revenge, and that was a fun one. Power Man and Iron Fist number 116. That particular Christmas, that was all I wanted, was that Yar's Revenge. Played the heck out of that game. All right, so you can see right on up here. Little trivia note for as hated as E.T. was, and of course a stamp from whatever the comic book or newsstand, very more likely, given the era, probably a newsstand. A little bit of trivia about that, not that anybody particularly cares. But for as hated a game as E.T. was for the Atari, it was programmed by the same designer as the super awesome Yar's Revenge game. All right, Nomad. Huh, looking good. No real issues on that spine. I'd expect more after all this time. 30-year comic. I don't know if there's any way for them to do it at this point, but I'd like to see a Nomad movie. We played obviously with some of those themes with Bucky and the Winter Soldier movies, but still, this was a nice take on a classic character. Nomad number 2 right here. Obviously, throwback. Bucky. Go. I believe at one point Nomad must have worn the Cap outfit at one point. Here we go, some TSR. It wasn't the 80s without some TSR in the back of your comic book. Move on to some more. This is number 1 of a newer series of Nomads right here. This is volume 2. By this point, he's gone from just being kind of a loner to taking on more of the traditional superhero role by wearing a giant belt buckle with his initial on it. As you do. And we're messing up our whole situation right here. There we go. Then you got Nomad number 2 from that same series. That's something that I hadn't noticed before. There's a little Bucky. So we'll show you the light on it. A little bit of ding on that corner. Show you this corner. We'll show you the other side as well. And there you go. That's going to do it for that one. We're going to finish up here with a little bit more Nomad. There you go. You got an X Bucky versus an X Captain America. U.S. Agent. Always fun to see what they did with some of those icons at that time. Number 3. Where you had the variations on the secret super soldier there with U.S. Patriot and Super Patriot and U.S. Agent. A Nuke running around there at one point. Over in the pages of Daredevil. It's pretty important. All right. So ready to go on that one. And the last of our Nomads in this particular auction, or at least in this particular session. We might have more coming up, I'm not sure. This is number 11. Go, you can see that. And that'll do it for that. We're going to move on here to some Marvel Knights from right around 2000, 2001. Millennial Vision. So a little bit of an ensemble book. Some wear there in the a little bit of spine. Show you here. You can see the same on the back. We're just a little bit of creasing on the spine. Nothing major. Before we move on to Double Shot. Obviously, a little bit more of a mature book. More violence, of course, considering it's got the Punisher and the Daredevil doing their thing. Obviously, post 2011, right, or September 11th, right here. Early 2002, I would imagine. And of course, Garth Ennis providing some of that violence, as he does. Move that right on here before we move on to some more Double Shot, Nick Fury, and Man-Thing. Pretty good shape right there. Nothing that I see standing out here on it. Corn Nuts. How about that? Who would ever think you'd see a full page ad back cover for Corn Nuts? I didn't even know Corn Nuts was a trademarked thing. All right, more Double Shot right here. This time up, you got all kinds of folks. You got Daredevil, you got Iron Fist. There we go. Show you the front, we'll show you the back. Some Michelle Yeoh there. Yeah, we'll show you that right there. I want to make sure you understand that. Yeah, you flip that back over. It's folded over. It's not ripped. But for those of you that matters, well, I'll let you know because it matters. And we move on here to Morbius, the Living Vampire. Comics Code does not allow you to call him just a vampire, so he has to be a living vampire. You cannot make references to the undead. By this point, the Comics Code has long since gone away, but the legacy still remains that he is the living vampire with, of course, the Rocky Horror cover there. And you can see a little bit of that right up here. So some a little bit of stuff on the cover. That is Morbius, the Living Vampire number 2. We'll move right ahead here to number 3. There we go. Let's move that up so you can actually see it. A little bit of issues right here on that corner. A normal amount of spine roll that you would expect to see. And a fun game on the back. Before we move on here to She-Hulk number 1. And in fact, I misspoke. Of course, it is not She-Hulk. It is just Hulk number 1. This is the regular cover, if I'm not mistaken. What's confusing is it was, of course, reminiscent of the previous She-Hulk covers. In many ways, by this point, they decided, hey, she is just as eligible to bear the term Hulk as anybody else, so why not? So there you go. So it's just Hulk number 1 regular cover right there. Rico Tan on that one. Jeff Deckel, not really sure how it's pronounced. It's the thing about reading these things, you never quite know. All right, and Marvel Mystery Comics. Brought back under the Timely, of course, as you know, was former name, Timely and Atlas being predecessors to Marvel at one point or another. This brings it back with some classic stories of Namor, the original Human Torch. Back, of course, before in some timelines he became a precursor of the Vision. Got a little bit of a crease right there. Back when he was just a robot that inexplicably caught fire. Marvel decided, it's a feature, not a bug, and sent him out and fought some crime. All right, moving on to some Batman. Europa. As part of our number 1s, we get a lot of number 1s in. People like to collect just number 1s. Look how silky that cover is. Silky and shiny. You got some creasing on the spine. Don't see anything on the corners. We get a ton of number 1s, folks. It's almost like a slick, glossy magazine. It's on the inside, same kind of thing. Yeah, kind of thick, slick and glossy on the inside. Almost like a magazine more than a comic book. Oh, some fun stuff. Jim Lee doing the work on this cover, of course. And we move on here to another number 1. As I said, sometimes our consigners love to just collect number 1s all day long, and then we get a giant box full of number 1s, and that's fine. We love it. Some have value, some do not. Of course, now in the comic book world, everything is a number 1. But sometimes we get some neat stuff. So here you go. Look at all these Thors. People are upset that introduced a female Thor, but of course, look at what we've had before. You got Frog Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Thor himself, Robo Thor, previous Lady Thor. So I suspect this was done kind of as a shout out to remind readers of that. As we move on here to Doomed number 1. Almost looks a little bit like a Spawn knockoff. I'm not familiar with this character or this book, but you may be. Check that out in the thing. If you know anything about it, let us know in the comments. I'm curious, but of course we don't like to read our consigners' books. That would be really fair. If anybody knows anything about him, let us know. And of course, if you'd like to know more, you can buy him You'll be at our next auction at TheBigToyAuction.com. As always, registration is free. And we try to make it as fun as we can for you. All right, so just a little bit of an issue right here. This is Omega the Unknown, number 1 of 10 from Marvel Comics. I always enjoy when they start off as a limited series and either run out of interest halfway through or decide that they've got more and cut it off or expand it halfway through. So we go do that. We're going to finish out here with some Hawkeye. This is Hawkeye number 1 of the all-new Hawkeye. Let me brighten it up for you so you can see it. Ramon Perez doing some of the work on this one. Always a fan favorite. So I'll show you the corners. Show you the spine. Good. Corners down there. Looks nice. Hulkbuster. We do have some Marvel Legends coming up. None from the Hulkbuster series, I do not think. But we got Marvel Legends, early ones, coming up in our next toy auction. I encourage you to check those out. We move on to Hawkeye number 2. This is from Volume 2, the all-new Hawkeye. A little bit of it's hard to tell on this white cover, but you can tell just a little bit of a crease there. Try to show you the spine. Looks like there's some pressure, but not a full crease there on the spine. It's tough on these white covers. Shows up real nice under the light in black. So you can see a little bit of a stress on the spine on that one. Before we move on to Hawkeye number 3. More of the same right here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't see any major issues, creasing, anything like that on the spine. No waviness. That was a pretty good comic book. So, another Hawkeye right here. Kind of a creepy looking cover. Anything with a doll is always creepy. Corners. There's the spine. And of course, reflection of the cover. Looks pretty nice there also. And another one of these fun M&M commercials. Not commercials, ads, print ads. I like that, looking like the old pulp movies. Pulp-themed movies, at least. And another Hawkeye, pretty simple cover right here. Gets the job done, lets you know what's going on. Says, hey, we got 2 people that shoot arrows at each other. What more do you need to know? Open up the book and find out. All right, so a little bit of stress. Or is that just the way the light is shining? No, I don't think there is stress. Well, you can decide for yourself. Corners look nice. All right, we're good there. And look at that. Love that ad. Okay. Before we finish up our Hawkeye for you, more Ramon Perez goodness. This is number 6. Yep, I don't see any issues on the corners. On the spine. More 75th anniversary. The book is fairly new, from just 2 years ago. And there you go. So that is going to do it for us. We want to thank you for coming on out. We look forward to seeing you at our next big auction. You can head on over to TheBigToyAuction.com right there in the description or on the website. Head on over there. Ask any questions that you have. We've got lots of comic books. We try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. There usually aren't too many. You've seen everything right here. Registration is always free. If you have comic books toys, jewelry, memorabilia, ephemera has been doing good, coins. Let us know. We'll be happy to sell those for you at our next upcoming auction, either here or at the gallery. We've got lots of good stuff coming, just swamped with all kinds of goodies coming at you. So look forward to seeing those soon. You can like, follow, share in order to see those coming up here, or go over to our website. You can sign up for the email blast that we send out ever so often, and we'll take care of you then. Thanks again, folks. We hope you had a good time. We hope you like what you see. And as always, we will see you at the auction.